Wall-E, stylized with an interpunct as Wall times E, is a 2008 American computer-animated science fiction film, set in the far future of 2805. Produced by Pixar Animation Studios and released by Walt Disney Pictures. It was directed and co-written by Andrew Stanton, produced by Jim Morris, and co-written by Jim Reardon. It stars the voices of Ben Burtt, Elissa Knight, Jeff Garlin, John Ratzenberger, Kathy Najimy and Sigourney Weaver, with Fred Willard in the films, and Pixar's only prominent live-action role. The overall ninth feature film produced by the company, Wall-E follows a solitary robot on a future, uninhabitable, deserted Earth, left to clean up garbage. However, he is visited by a probe sent by the starship Axiom, a robot called EVE, with whom he falls in love and pursues across the galaxy. After directing Finding Nemo, Stanton felt Pixar had created believable simulations of underwater physics and was willing to direct a film set largely in space. Wall-E has minimal dialogue in its early sequences. Many of the characters do not have voices, but instead communicate with body language and robotic sounds designed by Burtt. The film incorporates various topics including consumerism, corporatocracy, nostalgia, waste management, human environmental impact and concerns, obesity, and global catastrophic risk. It is also Pixar's first animated film with segments featuring live-action characters. Following Pixar tradition, Wall-E was paired with a short film titled Presto for its theatrical release. Wall-E was released in the United States on June 27, 2008. The film was critically praised for its animation, story, voice acting, characters, visuals, score, use of minimal dialogue, and scenes of romance. It was also commercially successful, grossing $521.3 million worldwide over a $180 million budget. It won the 2008 Golden Globe Award for Best Animated Feature Film, the 2009 Hugo Award for Best Long-Form Dramatic Presentation, the final Nebula Award for Best Script, the Saturn Award for Best Animated Film and the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature with 5 nominations. It is considered by many critics as the best film of 2008, and to be among the best animated films ever made. The film topped Time's list of the best movies of the decade, and in 2016 was voted 29th among 100 films considered the best of the 21st century by 117 film critics from around the world. In 2021, the film was selected for preservation in the United States National Film Registry by the Library of Congress as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. In the 29th century, Earth has become a garbage-strewn wasteland due to rampant consumerism and corporate greed. 7 centuries earlier, the megacorporation by and large, BNL evacuated humanity to space on giant starliners. Of all the trash-compacting robots left by BNL to clean up, only one robot remains operational, Waste Allocation Load Lifter, Earth-class, Wall-E. One day, Wall-E's routine of compressing trash and collecting interesting objects is broken by the arrival of an unmanned probe carrying an egg-shaped robot named Extraterrestrial Vegetation Evaluator, EVE. She has been sent to scan the planet for signs of sustainable life. Wall-E is smitten by the sleek, otherworldly robot, and the two begin to connect, until EVE goes into standby when Wall-E shows her his most recent find, a living seedling. Sometime later, the probe then collects EVE and the plant, and, with Wall-E clinging on, returns to its mothership, the starliner Axiom. In the centuries since the Axiom left Earth, its passengers have degenerated into corpulence due to laziness and microgravity, their every whim catered to by machinery. Even the captain, B. McRae, is used to sitting back while his robot steering wheel auto-flies the ship. McRae is unprepared to receive the positive probe response, but discovers that placing the plant in the ship's holo detector will trigger a hyperjump back to Earth so humanity can begin recolonization. When McRae inspects Eve's storage compartment, however, the plant is missing, and EVE blames Wall-E for its disappearance. EVE is deemed faulty and taken to diagnostics. Mistaking the process for torture, Wall-E intervenes and inadvertently releases all the reject bots when a stray pulse shot hits the control panel, causing him and EVE to be designated as rogues. Frustrated, EVE tries to send Wall-E home in an escape pod, but before they can do so, the two witness autos go for Bot Geo for stowing the plant in a pod set to self-destruct, revealing that Wall-E did not steal the plant. Wall-E attempts to retrieve it, but is then launched into space before he could return. EVE uses an emergency exit to chase after Wall-E, and witnesses the pod explode, although both he and the plant survive unscathed. He and EVE reconcile, celebrating with a dance in space around the Axiom. EVE brings the plant back to McRae, who watches her recordings of Earth, concluding that they can and must save it. However, Auto has been programmed with the secret Never Return Directive A113 issued after BNL incorrectly declared in 2110 that the planet could not be saved, and reveals that he ordered GO4 to get rid of the plant. When McRae countermands the directive, Auto and GO4 mutiny, electrocuting Wall-E's circuit board, putting EVE into standby, throwing them both down the garbage chute, and locking McRae in his quarters. EVE and Wall-E are nearly ejected into space along with the ship's refuse, but a cleaner robot microbe obliterator, MO following Wall-E's dirt trail across the ship gets stuck when the gate opens and inadvertently alerts the Wall-E bots, prompting them to abort the ejection. As humans and robots help in securing the plant while Wall-E, EVE, MO and the reject bots head to the holodetector, McCrae and Auto fight for control. Wall-E sacrifices himself by allowing himself to be crushed by the holodetector, jamming it. This causes it to stay open, buying EVE time to successfully insert the plant, initiating the hyperjump while McCrae eventually overpowers and deactivates Auto by switching him to manual mode. Arriving back on Earth, EVE repairs Wall-E, but finds that his memory and personality have been erased. Heartbroken, EVE gives Wall-E a goodbye kiss, which restores him back to his normal self. Wall-E and EVE reunite with MO and the reject bots as the inhabitants of the Axiom take their first steps on Earth. During the credits, humans and robots turn the ravaged planet into a paradise, and the plant is shown to have grown into a mighty tree, which EVE and Wall-E rest beneath. The pair live out the rest of their days in love and peace.